I hope I'm in the frame correctly. So, in the frame. Yeah, I think I am now. Uh, okay, I'm making this video just to let you guys in on my thoughts. Yeah, on my thoughts, on my perception, on my just to let you into maybe just a section of my brain of how I really think. Okay, so this is what goes on in my mind. This is what goes on in my mind. First of all, imagine the times. Imagine the times when guns were not yet created. Like at the time of Jesus, there were no guns. There were no guns, right? Obviously, no tractors, things like that. But people were still surviving, right? They were still farming using the things that were there. And they would just keep on evolving, evolving, evolving. But there's something that changed, right? Like imagine like our grandparents. The guys used to survive solely on farming for themselves and keeping livestock and things like that. But for us, we have to buy things from the shop now. Now listen, just listen to that. We have to buy things from the shop now. Like back then, those niggas they were surviving on their own, just planting and harvesting on their own. They weren't relying on anyone, and they were still surviving. But us, somehow we're the wisest, but still stupidest species. I think. I think still. But yeah, I was just thinking of that. Like they really didn't depend on anyone, on any. Right now, you can't mention any country like any African country that is like fully on its own, like it can survive on its own. This is how I think of money. Me, I feel like it's something you can use to control. Something you can use to control. Just the fact that some people think they can't live without it, because it's like you have to go to school, get a job, then start making money, then you can have a living. But no one is like, maybe I can just survive on farming. How were niggas back then surviving by themselves? They were surviving by themselves, bro. Just think about it for a second. Like, just be there thinking about it. Like, yo, people really used to survive without stores, without stores. Obviously, I'm talking about food. Food is the main topic here. Right? For us, we import things that we can just farm. We can. Don't tell me that if we stop importing, then we'll all die. Nah, I wish. I refuse to believe that if we stop importing, then we all die. I think if we, first of all, food is the most important thing. Obviously, you'll say it's money, but money will be used to control food. Because even if you had money, if you don't have food, money is useless. Because food is like a need. It's not a want, it's a need. You need it to survive, right? So I was just like, really, I don't know, we can survive on farming, just, but I don't know where we lost it, where we lost the art. I think it's when school was introduced. It's when school was introduced. School was just introduced to shift to shift the paradigms that our grandparents had. Now that they shifted their their lifestyles, their way of living, they passed it on to us. But for us, if we don't see it, we also pass it to our kids. And if they don't see it, they also pass it on. While other people are like benefiting way more than we are, of course. They're the ones controlling the system or things like that. Yeah, but that's just what I thought about. I thought about it. Like they really used to survive. They used to survive. Imagine right now if we stop you from going to the store. We they were drilling. How were they getting water back then? Was it only rivers? No, no, no. No, they were drilling wells. With what? With what? They, they were also smart, those guys. They were also smart. I won't lie. They were smart. They were digging wells back then. Because I remember this other girl at the well where Jesus met that. It was a prostitute, I think. Oh no, the woman with a lot of husbands, with a lot of men. She was met at the well by Jesus. And then how did they dig that thing? You know, they had shovels back then. Hey, but it was true. Yeah, yeah. But think about it. They used to survive hunting or whatever they used to do. But yeah, I think we've just been messed with. Our heads were messed with.